Now, she's been the owner of the makeup brand Sculpted by Aimee for a decade now.
And being this year's official beauty partner for the IFTAs, things are on the up and up for her. Please welcome Aimee Connolly back to Ireland now. Good to see you again, Aimee.
Great to have you here.
Thanks for having me.
A decade. It's
nearly.
bonkers. You know, what are the lessons learned in the decade? The business lessons
How long
learned.
do you have?
Do you want to
Like
get you a few pillows, lie down, treat it like therapy?
Do you know what? It's such a wild ride. I think, like, if I think back to 9 years ago when I was starting, and it's like, did I expect it would get to this level? In one sense, no. And in the other sense, obviously, you're kind of quietly backing yourself to go for it. I think there's loads of things you learn along the way. One of the kind of most positive, like, basic things I would say that often people maybe don't reflect on is actually the journey that you go on when you build it. So, like, the places you go see, the people you meet, like, they've been amazing. But obviously loads of issues happen along the way. I think one thing I've actually learned personally and kind of brought it into professionally as well is because the level of things that go wrong, it really forces you to stay very solution focused. So at the beginning, in that kind of first year or two, you'd maybe be a little bit flappable of like, oh my God, this is happening, you know, and that internal panic. And now you're just very much like, okay, that's on fire. How do we put it out? What's the plan A, plan B? And it just keeps you very focused.
Yeah, success doesn't mean it gets easier.
No, I think it's getting harder the whole time.
But it's really difficult as well because you started out as a creative. Makeup artistry is such a special skill. But transitioning to a business and a very successful business, I mean, it's like apples and oranges. They're completely two different things. You've had to literally mash them all into one, which is hugely challenging.
Yeah, I often say, you know, take my example, I was exactly that creative. I was that product obsessor. It was like you're very focused on what product or what packaging or what component you want. And then all of a sudden you realise, of course, you need to have those ideas and you need to work to those. But then you end up becoming a HR manager over the next few years that no one teaches you about because you obviously need people to make your mission possible. So yeah, I have grown up in my 20s, both as a human and as a leader, and trying to scale a business and learning basically on my toes along the way.
OK, before we started our conversation, during the break, you did something which I thought, well, you know, she doesn't just... she's not putting her name to something. She lives it. She knows it. Because you were talking to Elaine about her makeup.
Yeah.
And you were able to knock off the shades and different things. So, like, you're right in.
I
not
am
just
right in.
putting your name to something.
Totally. I think, well, firstly, like, we're privately owned, so it's just myself and the team, and has been since day one, and we have the most amazing team. But I am all in. I would say one of my learnings as a leader as we grow is I need to slightly come out of the all in to think more.
Do you micromanage a little bit?
Do you know what? My team were like, no.
I get text messages now going, yeah, she does.
Yeah, you're a liar. I try not to. I just actually love the detail.
Yeah.
So that's what excites me.
What's interesting about the whole brand idea of it, because we see so many beauty brands, they set up, they get successful, these massive companies come in, offer them millions to take the name and go. We've seen it with MAC, we've seen it with all the big makeup brands. Yeah. You've chosen not to do that. You're keeping it. It would be a lot easier for you to take the money and run. Why have you not done that?
I think, like, we often speak about this as a team when we kind of come back to our mission, and that is to build a legacy brand that's here for many more years to come to empower, like, global community around the world and their makeup bags. So when you're building something for a legacy, it's not a quick hit and win, and you're here for the long haul and you're trying to do it the right way. So the ambitions are big. You know, we're looking at international markets and we have lots to learn and lots to do, but has also been a huge win for us so far. So this is kind of keep the head down and keep going and build a bigger
and not
bigger
sell
brand.
out.
Yeah,
sell out, which is great because I just know I'm very passionate about Irish beauty brands. So in my makeup bag, you'll see the Aimee, you'll see the Cash, you'll see the Virgin Beauty, you'll see things like that. Yes, I have other bits and pieces as well, but it's very, very important to keep something intrinsically Irish because you know what you're getting and where you're getting it from. So which is hugely important as well. But what else I think is very important, I mean, we've been going to the IFTAs for how many years? Since nearly donkeys years ago. And one of the biggest thing for the IFTAs, of course, is the beauty brand involved in them and the affiliations there. And I know that brands clamour to get involved in that because you've the great and the good of Hollywood going. And you're involved in that for the second year running. I mean, God, you'll have some big names to look after this year. Yeah. Because, of course, you're the beauty sponsor.
I know, we're very excited. I think we've done it for the last year or two and it's always like, it's like the biggest event on, you know, Ireland's calendar in terms of, like you said, the calibre of people that are over and just actually being so proud of the Irish talent that we have. So yeah, it's something very special being the Irish brand and the main kind of partner in terms of beauty with them, and obviously getting to see all the lovely people that come over as well.
So who are you looking forward to seeing?
Do you know what? I think given the hype of the moment and just how incredible she was in Hamlet, it would be totally remiss not to mention Jessie Buckley because...
And her skin.
I know. Yeah. But she just seems so sound.
Yeah.
Do you know? That's so Irish, but like she just seems so sound. I absolutely adore Nicola Coughlan. Always have done. When I saw her at the awards before, I was like, hi, Nicola. Total fangirl. Alison Oliver, I think, has had the most amazing...
Great crack.
Great crack, but like the most amazing career, particularly in the last year, like of all the things that I've watched her in. So looking forward to hopefully seeing her and catching up with her
Apparently
again.
she steals the show in Wuthering Heights, yeah.
Oh, I haven't seen it. Oh, well, it's not out yet. Yeah.
Well, they say it's the perfect Galentine's movie.
Yeah.
And today's Galentine's Day.
And it's Jake Lordy as well, which doesn't...
Well, I suppose I remember once watching a whole pile of women. They were watching The Untouchables.
Oh, sorry.
And I said, really? I didn't think you'd be into gangster movies. And they went, really? Yeah. Kevin Costner, Sean Connery, Andy Garcia. Come on.
Yeah,
So-
well, Jacob Elordi would knock most of them out of the park.
Yeah, I
We're
think so.
gonna be
I think so.
quite honest.
You've got Jacob and then
Listen, for all the big
Anyway.
names that might be there, it's you know, it's great when they will endorse your products,
Totally.
especially unwillingly and unasked.
Yeah.
But it's the people who are walking in off the street who are the people who are most important to you.
Oh my God, 100%. Yeah, and I would often say, and this is really not in like a cringe or a cliche way, but like the sculpted community are untouchable. Like they are literal
They're like the
frontline
Beehive.
defenders. Like they're amazing. And we get like the most incredible moments to reflect on. Like we've had Serena Williams use her cream push and Millie Bobby Brown in Stranger Things. So all these like really big names that of course you're like, this is so exciting. But there is something about a moment if I'm in a bathroom and someone is taking out their palette and they're touching up, or I'm sitting on the Tube in London or the Lewis here and someone's, you know, using their foundation and I'm like, hi, who are you? And I lose all cool. And then sometimes they don't even know who I am. So they're like, who's this girl just staring at me
Some
because I'm
weird
using her
one tried
product?
to take me foundation
Yeah.
today.
And I'm like,
Do you quiz them and ask them
great
why you're
computer
using
choice.
that? Do you ask them?
No, I just kind of am like, oh, nice foundation.
Yeah. Oh, I wouldn't be like that at all. I'd be completely like, tell me why. Why do you like it?
Yeah,
Why
yeah,
don't
yeah.
you like it? So I think we could change.
It's funny, right? We get feedback a lot. I would always be in that in my DMs, 100%. And I like crave that in a weird way because I've like grown up in the business with it and I think it's so important. But the more the business grows, the more I hate like I find it hard to do like a hard sell kind of.
Yeah.
Do you know? So like I'd nearly be like, oh, you probably don't need that. So like, don't worry, you know. And then the team would kind of step in and be like, well, no, actually, this is going to be great for you.
But on that note as well, because you were front and centre for so long, and I know a couple of years you kind of stepped back a little bit from being the face so much of the brand, and you brought a more other looks into it as well. But psychologically, it's a bit of a toll as well, because not only are you the businesswoman and you're the creator, but people feel they own part of you, I suppose, in a way. How has that been to navigate? Because psychologically, it can't be the easiest.
Do you know what? I think whether it's naivety or just being too busy in the moment, I try not to overthink things too much, and that definitely helps me. So if I was to think about all that we're going to achieve in one moment and like you're facing the mountain, you're like, oh my God, how am I going to do this? So kind of breaking it down. And same with kind of social and the pressure of people often say your name's above the door. So like, how does that feel? I kind of don't get in my head too much about it, but I'll know when maybe I need to take a few days off social because work has been so intense and you just need a bit of a chill and kind of like to manage yourself and mind yourself a bit. But in saying that, you can't deny the accountability because it is Sculpted by Aimee and I am Aimee. So you need to be present. You need to show up the right way. You know, you need to send the right messages.
Who mentored you?
Do you know what? I have been very lucky to have a lot of people along the way between different networks, etc., who have been fundamental at that point of business. So whether it was like our first time entering a market or, you know, if you're thinking about areas that maybe you just haven't done yet and a coffee with them saves you like 6 months of work. There probably hasn't been like one specific person. It's something I actually set myself a goal on last year, was to really recruit like a mentor or a coach, because, you know, the load does get bigger. Like the business is growing, the risk is more, we have a team of 130 people now. Like that's
130.
Yeah, like so.
Her
and
name's
that's
over
amazing.
4 doors now, not just one.
Yeah, exactly.
Come a long way in the 9 years.
Yeah, no, it's been amazing. But then at the same time, internally, when you are at the top and you're constantly driving and you're ambitious, it's not that I don't reflect on where we've come and it's amazing. In my mind, I'm like, but we need to this.
Yeah.
Do you know?
Yeah.
World domination.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
look,
Just that
what
small little
got you
task.
here won't get you there.
Exactly.
So you need that advising voice.
Yeah.
Your mum has been that advising voice.
Yeah, in terms of like family members and also like having, I suppose, a role model to kind of model yourself to. Mom's been amazing. She does not work in the beauty industry. Ironically, keeps her routine very simple. So I definitely didn't learn all the skills from Claire Connolly. But she's a single mom. I'm an only child, so we're very close. And she has been such a yes, can do attitude for my whole life. Took a career break herself, started a new business, you know.
So you didn't lick it off the stones, basically.
Yeah, but I also think I saw her just constantly be like, of course you can, love. Let's go. You know, this is great, love. So you kind of have that positive reinforcement the whole time.
Listen, that's the most important one. The most important foundation is our mothers, really, at the end of the day, if you
Yeah.
want to move forward. Aimee, thank you so much for joining
Great to
us.
see you.
at all.
And continued
Thanks for
success.
having me. Thank you.
What's the biggest makeup trend for 2026 summer now? We're not putting you under pressure, but everyone's going to want to know.
Bronze is back with an absolute bang.
Yep. That's what I
Bronze
like to hear.
everywhere.
Shimmer or matte?
Mix of both.
Excellent. That's what I like to hear.
That's what Eric was saying, actually.
Yeah,
He was
because
saying
he does like a bit of bronzer, Eric does.
mental for it.